maneuver the arm head down. And you're going to put a lot of tension on the back of the neck. What muscle do these be?
Yeah, your upper chest or your neck extensors.
Yeah, he's a physical therapist, my cousin. And the neck extensors are weak.
There's a ton there. Like all the deeper ones, they're more like postural muscles, so they're not meant to like extend against a lot of force.
So what's the mechanics of kind of being high and then bringing this now this way as opposed to pulling down here by the chest?
If you have all of your cervical vertebrae here, these are where the joints are. You're further away from the joints, then you just get a lot more leverage here than close to the
neck leverage. Yeah. Both, I go high onto the top of the head, more leverage, stressing the neck extensors.
Yeah.
You can go here double also, right? And then you kind of have this frame, and then as you're trying to recover the posture here, you can pump him, and then bring your head into the chest. And this is a nice double leg kick that I really like. The last double, where you put the head into the chest, if his chest is upright, you put it in the middle and you go. But if his chest is caving towards me, and if I come in at an angle here, I can potentially hurt my neck, my own neck. So this is like, you have to really be careful when you have to move this. But if his chest is traveling backwards over his heels, then it's a lot easier for me to connect and work the legs for the blast double. So working off of this head position high here, I'm going high and bringing the head down, and he's trying to posture his head back up. Okay? So as he brings, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Look at when these push, then go driving into the blast double. Okay? Can you always get this? No. Right? It's a nice tool to have in your arsenal. The point being though, I always want to try to close the distance and work the cowlie and then bring the head down. If I can snap the head down, that's very good because you put the hand on the ground and then now you force one hand off position yourself. The more he is stable upright here, the more he has ability to move, maneuver, and work my hands. If I can work the hands, close the distance, and start kicking it out of the stance, the harder time he's going to have as I start attacking and setting up bigger throws. So that's a little bit of the key here, right? You never want to reach out, lead leg, right? Then you get shot. So I'm going to post the backhand, right? Work the top of the head, post on the head, change stances, post on the head, close the distance, and now we have this kind of thing. So we're working the head downward, hold the head down, holding the opponent's head. Next, we'll talk about my own head position. We briefly discussed head position in an earlier segment about matching head position so no one can shoot on you. If our heads are lined up here, you can't go for a guillotine because our heads are matching. You can't shoot on the legs. Let's say even if they're much more deeper stance here, right? If our foreheads are matching, we want to shoot him on the leg. Right? It's very difficult to match. You can't shoot on the leg. If he wants to go for a front headlock, he cannot. Okay, so very important. That's the sort of the basics of the basics. Now we're entering into this position, right? We want to use our head and then position our forehead on the side of the head. We're trying to create these angles, right? But we're not directly head to head, front to front. Ear to ear, this is also not a very good position. It's getting the kata here. Not much can happen from here. Even though we will cover this position because it's such a common position for most intermediates, I know everybody in wrestling says, hey, never get ear to ear, never get ear to ear. But it can be a useful place to be if you know what to do. Whether it's the goal is to stall them, lock them out, run the clock out. Who knows? And there are people very close to that. I'm going to show you later on today. But generally speaking, you don't want to get the issue. Unless you want to cauliflower. Grind your ear into the other guy's ear. So in this position, as opposed to ear to ear, you're going to angle yourself off. Now the forehead is in the side of this temple. Okay? And the more you get sort of head forehead to the side of the temple, the more you create separation from his head and into the shoulder, which weakens this entire joint. Why is that usually? How does that work?
There's so the length tension relationship. The longer you're stretched out, longer muscle it is, then weaker it's gonna be. Like doing a bicep curl from like fully extended, you're weaker than when you're like halfway through a Zumba.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Even the underhook head position is very important, right? Because now it creates a separation between his head and his shoulder. If I'm looking at these 2-on-1s here, if you guys are listening at 50 cent, I'm going to use my hand to wedge it across the body here. So now it's going to be very difficult for him to return this arm because my head is in the way, extending his head away from his arm. So now he's like, so it's full extension sort of a thing. And we covered in my leg grab, leg attack just video. If I'm attacking the inside trick here, right, I'm using my head to drive my opponent across to that weak diagonal, using it sort of as a force to kind of shove that person in this direction. When we think pushing somebody, we think generally in terms of pushing with the hands, right? You can also use your head to kind of push into the person. So a good head position matters, even if you're doing a double leg, right? Matters if you're talking about the chest position relative to their body. If we're shooting on a single leg, right? Have a good head position to where we have it digging into our opponent's chest and shoulder, right? Really, really important stuff. You want to develop your traps in your neck. But for the purpose of hand fighting and entering to setting up your bigger throws, you definitely want to match their forehead height, head height, and you want to create angles. Right? You create a nice angle, now you already have an advantage, right? And in order to do this kind of stuff, you cannot let